Hey guys, I got a couple of questions on my braid pattern from my crochet video and I thought it'd be the perfect time to share. So I love this braid pattern because it's so versatile. It's super flat, so you can wear it under your crochet. It's the perfect base for the crochet. It's a wonderful base if you want to do a sew-in, like a closure sew-in. It's a great base for under your wigs because the braids are really flat and small. So I'm gonna start out by leaving out or braiding down my leave out. I like to braid the perimeter of my hair, so you'll see me go on both sides, starting from the middle down, because with my crochet sometimes I do like to wear a middle part, and I like to wear my hair up and in buns, so I need that perimeter to conceal basically the crochet situation underneath. So you're gonna see me just braid down my leave out so I can get started on the rest. And how much you leave out is all dependent on your texture. If your texture is a lot thicker than mine, you probably just need less hair out. But because my hair is so fine, I find that I need like a lot more out to cover. So just look at your density and kind of determine how much leave out you need. But I find like around an inch is perfect. So I'm gonna crisp up my middle part so I can start braiding. And again, I like to wear my crochet in a middle part. So I'm gonna make sure that that part is perfect because it's the part that you're gonna see for the next 6 to 8 weeks. So like I said, these are really, really small. And this first braid, I'm gonna braid backwards to about half of my head. So you'll see I'll stop around the crown and make sure that this braid is really small so you can braid it nice and neat and flat and you don't feel like you have a bulky base. So I'm gonna braid this all the way back, and what's important too is that the braids are going backwards and not down to the sides of your head. They should be going back to the nape of your neck. Otherwise, you're gonna get a really bulky hairline if you wanna put your hair back. I've seen some controversial opinions about it, but I say braid it backwards and not down and sideways. Okay, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So I'm gonna repeat the same thing on the next side, except I'm gonna part all the way down because this braid is a braid that's gonna go down to the nape. And obviously the parting doesn't need to be perfect. No one's gonna see this. I mean, I guess you guys are seeing this, but no one else. So now that I have this center braid parted, and it's super important that this braid is parted in the center. You want it to go down the center of your head, not side center, completely center. What you're gonna do is grab the first braid, the end of the first braid, and combine the two, and you're gonna get this Y. And what's really important about this Y shape and having the braid go all the way down the center of your head is that when the wind blows, the hair's not gonna split down the middle. Had I parted my hair all the way down the middle and braided down the middle, sometimes the crochet can tend to split in the widths, okay? And so this prevents that from happening. And what's great is it makes the part look more natural too, because the part isn't going all the way down the back of my head. It kind of just stops at the crown, like a typical part would be. So yeah, keep that Y shape in the center of your head, and everything else you do is gonna come out right. So I'm taking another section on the other side of the Y, and I'm gonna braid down to about the middle of my head. Once I get to the middle of my head, I'm gonna take the end of the braid from the previous braid and just braid it in. So you're just gonna grab it, pull it up, not too tight. You don't want tension, you don't want bumps. This is supposed to be a protective style to protect your hair and the health of your hair, so keep that in mind. But I just braid that end in and then go all the way down. you'll see here, you'll start to get this kind of seamless pattern. Now, when I have about 3 braids left, what I'm going to do is jump to the very last braid and braid that one all the way down. And like you see, like I don't have much space, but I'm making sure that braid is going backwards and not down towards my ear. And then I'm going to take the second to last braid and I'm going to incorporate the 3rd braid and the last braid together. So that middle braid is going to, and I'll show you here, that middle braid is gonna hold both of those braids. So that way at the end, you have one end on that side, just like so. And again, it just makes everything more seamless. Then what I'm gonna do is just tuck this braid into the loops. And I'm gonna start to incorporate the end of this braid on the other side of my head. So you'll see me just kind of tuck them in. I thought I was gonna need the crochet hook for it, but you don't need a hook for this. You can just tuck them in. If your hair is not as long and it doesn't go towards the other side, that's fine. Just keep tucking until it kind of disappears. But just remember where you placed it, because you're gonna want to know where the end is when you're unbraiding your hair. That's how you take your crochet out. So starting on the other side, you're gonna see me get a nice slim section so I can start braiding. And I'm gonna part all the way down to the nape. And once I got towards the middle where I can start to braid in that little end, I'm gonna braid that in and just incorporate it. And again, these don't need to look professional. No one's gonna see them, but I lost the rest of this footage. So basically what I'm gonna do is repeat what I did on the other side. And then once I have one tail end, I'm just gonna tuck it in those loops like I did, as you can see here, like I did on the other side. And just make sure that wherever you tucked that braid, you remember where you tucked it, because that's how you unbraid and take out this crochet hair. So as your hair grows out, you'll start to feel it and you'll know what to unbraid. But that's basically it. Super easy. And now you're ready for your crochet, you're ready for your wig, you're ready for your closure sew-in. And that's it. I love you. Bye.